Good day everyone, I am Princess May A. Alyasot, one of the reporter of Group 6, and today Group 6 will be reported about the arts and creative literacy. So before we discuss, let us know first our learning outcomes. First is define arts and creative literacy. Identify the 7 habits of highly creative people. Explain eye-hand coordinations and some associated disorders, interventions, and developments. Compare and contrast visual and verbal creativity. Discuss aesthetics and tree approaches from a philosophical perspective. Cite ways on how to integrate arts and creative literacy in the curriculum. Draw relevant life lessons and significant values from a personal experience and creating an artwork or presenting a performance critique by others. Analyze research abstract on creative literacy and its implication to teaching learning process. And last, create an artwork and evaluate it using self-made assessment rubrics. So let's get started. Arts and creativity. Creativity is the process of having original ideas that have value. It is the ability to see the world in new ways. So according to Sun et al. Of 2019, it is creative individuals exhibit the ability to switch between different modes. So the different modes are the divergent thinking, including our imaginations, also called as the creative or horizontal thinking. Second is the convergent thinking. It uses logic, also called as critical, vertical, linear, analytical thinking. And last is the lateral thinking, which uses both imagination and logic. So that are the modes of thinking. And shift it their mental focus that suggests a connection between creativity and dynamic interaction of brain networks. So the creativity is simply means that it is the process of coming up with the worthwhile creative ideas. You have a originality of the ideas na may values. Creativity begins with a foundation of knowledge, yes, learning a discipline, and mastering a way of thinking. You can't create without a knowledge or without a imagination. It can be learned by experimenting, exploring, questioning assumptions, using imagination, and synthesizing information. It is very understandable that it simply means that creativity uses of knowledge and wide thinking to explore such thing, and you can create specific other things. So the 5 key behaviors that optimize the brain for discovery. Your ability to generate innovative ideas is not merely a function of the mind, but also a function of 5 key behavior that optimize your brain for discovery. So first is associating. It includes the drawing connections, questions, problems, or ideas from unrelated fields. So second, questioning involves posing queries that challenge common wisdom. Third is observing. It involves scrutinizing the behavior of others to identify new ways of doing things. Fourth is networking. It is the meeting of people with different ideas and perspectives. And last is experimenting. It involves constructing interactive experiences and provoking responses to see what the insights emerge.
Good day everyone, I'm Shaina C. Bentinganan. My task is to explain to you the 7 habits of high creative people according to Naiman 2014. So the 7 habits of high creative people are: prepare the ground, plant seeds for creativity, live in the question, feed your brain, experiment and explore, replenish your creative stock, and the last is liberate your creativity. So the first is prepare the ground. So it means that creativity requires an absorbed mind, a relaxed state of focus and attention by giving the self sufficient time and space needed while letting the desire to create from the pleasure of creative expression and inspiration. So creativity first have required our mind to absorb and relax a state of focus and attention so that we will be giving ourselves the sufficient time and space that we need in order for us to create our pleasure create from the pleasure of creative expression and also our inspiration. So the number 2 is plant seeds for creativity. So it means that it is important to put attention on what you want to create, not on complaints, and set an intention to produce the desired results. So it is important for us to put attention first on what we want to create and not on complaints, but set an intention in order for us to produce the desire that we want to do. So the number 3 is live and the question. So ask question instead of trying to find immediate answers, and pay attention to questions in other people ask. So let us remember that ask question first before before you want to know the answers. And also you need to pay attention to the question that you're asking and pay attention to your question that you are asking to the other people. So the number 4 is feed your brain. Get interested in something that latter can provide your wisdom and ideas. If you learn to make connections between people, places, and things that are not usually connected. So when we get interested in something, we want to know the ideas that we want to learn so that we can have a connections between people, places, and things that are not usually connected. So the number 5 is experiment and explore. So follow your curiosity, experiment your ideas, and learn from your mistakes. Therefore, the quality of your creativity will improve. So, first, follow your curiosity, experiment your ideas, and learn your mistakes so that your quality of your creativity will be improved. So, the number 6 is replenish your creative stock. You must learn to be self-nourishing and translate hobbies, talent, and skills into wonderful potentials. So, you need to know your self-nourishing to translate your hobbies, your talent, and skills so that you can be able to have a wonderful potentials. So the number 7 is liberate your creativity. In general, creativity takes on many forms in business, art, design, education, and science. When you express your creativity in these domains, you have the ability to make your life-ended work of art. So, it means that creativity takes on many forms. For example, for the business, art, design, education, and science. So, when you express it your creativity in these domains will have the ability to make your life ended at work. Rather, your life ended of art rather.
Good day, everyone. I am Antoinette Soldi Iskander. Today we're going to continue the discussion. Eye-hand coordination is the coordinated control eye movement with the hand movement and the processing of visual input to guide and grasping along with the use of proprioceptions of hands to guide the eyes. It can be observed in diverse activities such as reading, handwriting, sports, and etc. Examples of eye-hand coordination. In writing, when making lines, the eyes send visual information to the brain to tell where the hand is placed and if writing is legible. Typing on a board, although the types of movements are different, but visual information is used to tell the brain how to guide the hand or if a mistake needs to be corrected. When driving, it uses visual information to move the hands on the wheel, keeping the car in the middle of the lane and avoiding accidents. In sports, in any sports, the eyes usually coordinate with the movement of some parts of the body called motor coordination. It is important to always remind that eyes and our hand are always connected. Eyes will tell to our brain and the hands will follow. Problems and disorders related to poor eye-hand. Hand-eye coordinations can also work poorly even if the person's eyes and visions are not affected and if their motor control skills work properly. It is possible for someone with perfect vision to have hand-eye coordination problems that will only manifest when they see both the visuals and motor systems together. Any alterations to the visual or motor systems can significantly affect hand-eye coordination, like visual or muscular problems such as strabismus, cross eyes, amblyphobia, muscle hypotonia, balance problems, or cross laterality. Brain damage to the motor areas or perceptive areas may be also cause eye-hand coordination problems.
Good day everyone, I am Javelin Puyong. So today I will continue the discussion about the two main conditions for inadequate hand-eye coordination, which is the vision impairments and movement disorders. When we say visual impairment, it is a loss of vision that makes it hard or impossible to perform daily tasks without specialized adaptations caused by loss of visual acuity. Students that are blind and visually impaired have a wide range of skills and abilities. Blind and visually impaired students can develop also a wide range of skills and talents, like for example in social activities in their school. They can make friends and develop interpersonal skills. They may engage in conversations, join clubs or organizations, and contribute to their communities. Movement disorders are characterized by impaired body movements caused by a variety of causes such as ataxia and hypertonia. So, as students with ataxia may face unique challenges related to their impaired coordination and motor skills. However, it is important to note that each student's experience with ataxia can vary depending on the severity, underlying cause, and individual factors. So here are a few examples of how ataxia might impact the students in their fine motor skills, gross motor skills, balance and spatial awareness, speech and communications, activities of daily life, and social participation. A students with hypertonia condition is characterized by increase their muscle tension and reduce flexibility, may face specific challenges related to their motor and movement abilities. So there are three hand-eye coordination development stages. First, between birth and 3 years old, between 3 to 5 years old, and between 5 to 7 years old. In birth, 2 to 3 years old, The first step is that they are able to develop vision that allows them to follow slowly moving objects with their eyes. The second step is they are able to begin to develop their basic hand skills, such as reaching, grasping objects, feeding, and dressing. Next, they begin to recognize concept of place and direction, such as up and down. And the last is they are able to develop the ability to manipulate objects with their fine motor skills. Between the ages of 3 to 5 years old, children continue to refine their hand-eye coordination skills and gain more control over their fine motor movements. They continue to develop hand-eye coordination skills and a preference for left and right-handedness. The last hand-eye coordination is between 5 to 7 years old. Here are the following steps on how children grow. The first is they can improve fine motor skills such as handling writing tools using scissors. The second one is that they are able to continue to develop climbing, balancing, running, galloping, and jumping abilities. The next one is they can continue to improve hand-eye coordination and handedness preference. The last is they are learned to focus vision in school work for hours every day. These stages of development of hand-eye coordination provide a general overview. And it's important to remember that every child develops at their own pace. It is essential to provide children with opportunities to engage in activities that promote hand-eye coordination, such as playing with toys, drawing, stacking blocks, or participating in age-appropriate physical activities. The next reporter will continue the report about visual literacy.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cleofel Salazar. The topic that I'll be discussing is about visual literacy. In the advent of the internet, students must develop the necessary visual literacy skills to navigate the imagined, intense world. Therefore, visual literacy refers to interpreting and creating visual images and usually about communication and interaction. This means that creativity is important in this fast-paced and changing world. Visual literacy is the ability of an individual to make, create, and manipulate objects, photos, and even videos. It is used to communicate and interact. An example for this is the activity given to us by Sir Agwal. The activity is about the place that we wanted to visit, and with the help of my classmate Loris, she edited my photo with a background of Mount Fuji that I would love to visit in the future. With the help of the application Canva. And another example for this, and one of the familiar and most used scheme to edit is using the green screen. Filmmakers or the editors use green screen in order for them to able to create and make creative and pleasing product or movies. Visual media is a linguistic tool with which we communicate, exchange ideas, and navigate our highly visual digital world. Aside from other creativity skills, we also have verbal creativity. In the view of rapidly increasingly complexity of the world, creativity is more important now than ever before and is even considered as useful and effective response to evolutionary changes since it allows individual to flexibly respond to the continuously changing conditions around. By Runco 2004. Scott et al. 2004 cited that creativity-related skills can be improved by providing specific rules, techniques, or strategies to develop appropriate cognitive skills for the domain at hand. However, the definition of verbal creativity is not included in the PowerPoint presentation, but I'll be just dictating it. Verbal creativity is an ability to think creatively and to measure one's fluency, flexibility, and originality of a verbal form. Creative individuals are able to generate new possibilities or more than one solution to a problem. This means that verbal creativity is an ability of an individual to think creatively, to generate ideas and possible solutions to a particular or certain problem.
Aesthetics, also spelled aesthetics, is the philosophical study of beauty and taste. To define its subject matter more precisely is, however, immensely difficult. Indeed, it could be said that self-definition has been the major task of modern aesthetics. We are acquainted with an interesting and puzzling realm of experience, the realm of the beautiful, the ugly, the sublime, and the elegant of taste, criticism, and fine art, and of contemplation, sensuous enjoyment, and charm. In all these phenomena, we believe that similar principles are operative and that similar interests are engaged. If we are mistaken in this impression, we will have to dismiss such ideas as beauty and taste as having only peripheral philosophical interests. Alternatively, if our impression is correct and philosophy corroborates it, we will have discovered the basis for philosophical aesthetics. Aesthetic is broader in scope than the philosophy of art, which comprises one of its branches. It deals not only with the nature and value of the arts, but also with those responses to natural objects that find expression in the language of beauty and the ugly. A problem is encountered at the outset, however, for terms such as beautiful and ugly seem too vague in their application and too subjective in their meaning to divide the world successfully into those things that do and those that do not exemplify them. There are three approaches to aesthetics. Three broad approaches have been proposed in answer to that question, each intuitively reasonable. The first one is the study of the aesthetic concepts, or more specifically, the analysis of the language of criticism, in which particular judgments are singled out and their logic and justification displayed. In more recent times, philosophers have tended to concentrate on the concepts of modern literary theory, namely those such as representation, expression, form, style, and sentimentality. The study invariably has a dual purpose. The first one is to show how, if at all, these descriptions might be justified, and to show what is distinctive in the human experiences that are expressed in them. Number 2. A philosophical study of certain states of mind, responses, attitudes, emotions that are held to be involved in aesthetic experience. More recently, philosophers distrustful of Kant's theory of the faculties have tried to express the notions of an aesthetic attitude and aesthetic experience. And philosophy is not actually a science because it does not investigate the causes of phenomena. It is in a priori or conceptual investigation, the underlying concern of which is to identify rather than to explain. In effect, the aim of the philosopher is to give the broadest possible description of the things themselves so as to show how we must understand them and how we ought to value them. Number 3. The philosophical study of the aesthetic object. This approach reflects the view that the problems of aesthetics exist primarily because the world contains a special class of objects towards which we react selectively and which we describe in aesthetic terms. In effect, the existence of such objects constitutes the prime phenomenon. Aesthetic experience should thus be described according to them, and the meaning of aesthetic concept be determined by them.
Good day everyone, I am Kaylee Tabuada, and this time I will going to discuss integrating arts and creativity literacy into the curriculum. Bringing creativity and literacy together can be a powerful tool in teaching. It allows students to be active in literacy, from acting out plays through characters that they've made themselves or through making props. It allows students to explore their imagination. Next is, there are the 10 strategies and initiative in embedding arts and creative literacy in the curriculum. First is the physical environment. Design a physical environment to support creativity such as a castle settle design, school building, a roof and ceilings, and beautiful garden landscape. For the school building or facility itself, create maker spaces, for example, a Da Vinci Studio. The arts and science, living schoolyards, and labyrinth multimedia studio, lecture hall for students' presentation, students' conference room, and outdoors amphitheater. Number 2 is the emotional environment. Take time to create and maintain a climate of respect and caring that supports someone making mistake. Number 3, the project-based learning. Introduce the choices, the freedom and space for creativity. The project-based learning the units should be relevant, rigorous, and ruled in order to achieve the highest level of student motivation. And also it can engage and you can learn. And number 4, teach creative thinking skills. First, teach the students about metacognition, which is important because thinking about your thinking. And also can teach students how to believe, being able to know such a big word. And also you can use Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats to educate insight of the students, included the analysis, interpretation, and evaluation. And also it can allow students how to brainstorm, compare and contrast, problem solve, concept map. Number 5, the alternatives assessment. Instead of a worksheet or any assignment in which every student create a poster, provide plenty of leeway for students to create production in a medium of their choice. For example, students provide a video film, television, or a radio broadcast. Number 6, the scheduling. And project-based curriculum and performance-based assessment requires an adequate time. The most effective learning and teaching will take place when you create smaller learning communities. For example, the teacher with expertise in a various discipline who work with the same group of students all day, every day. Number 7, student-centered and personalized learning. It gives students voice and choice as much as possible regarding what they will learn, how they will learn it, and how they will demonstrate what they have learned. Number 8, incorporate the arts. Seamless integrated music, the art, drama, and dance into your project-based learning curriculum. And it can make creativity time to be separate from the rest of the curriculum, but let this discipline become a big vehicle for delivering the curriculum while developing creativity. And number 9, integration of technologies. For example, the students' blogs and website. For example, today's strategies is the website. From the project-based learning team, you can create a small but growing website with suggestion for project-based learning themes and topics, as well as recommended resource and activities. And last but not the least, preparing the body and brain for creativity. You can offer students opportunities such as yoga, because yoga for school can improve students' behavior, physical health, and academic performance, as well as attitudes towards themselves. That's all. Thank you.